name is Barbara Paxson, and I'm an artist and an art historian, and I spent time in Africa when I was young. I went there first as an exchange student from Kalamazoo College, and second as a research assistant to a woman studying these masks. And then the third time I was a Peace Corps art teacher and health education artist. And that was in the 1960s and 70s, so that was a long time ago now. The reason I went to Africa was because when I was 15 and 18, my aunt took my sister and me to a Quaker camp in Wisconsin where we met the Freedom Riders. And I was so moved by hearing their stories about, the Selma to Montgomery March and some of the terrible things they went through, that I vowed I wanted to work for justice. And so that was what motivated me to go to Africa in the first place. In recent years, I've been mostly doing my own artwork, and I do a variety of things, including making collages like this one behind me, Market Women of Africa. I felt like I'd gone into another realm, like the time and space vanished, and it seemed like the women were gathering and emitting light like supernatural beings. And so I make these collages in memory of that experience. But I'm always making something. And I enjoyed my illustration work for a long time. I did a lot of illustrations for all different subjects, tribal art, and then natural history, and for children's magazines and books, and then most recently with Parabola magazine, which is myth and tradition. I did several exhibit materials for Ethiopian art, and then I came back to Michigan in 1980, and I stumbled into a job being a research assistant to a historian who was writing a history of a local band of the Potawatomi Indians, the Pokagon Band. And I illustrated a book for their basket co-op with all the different artists and then some of their works and techniques and materials. And then I participated in their powwows by illustrating their powwow program books with different art subjects, beadwork, basketry, ribbon work on their costumes. This is a Mende tribe from Sierra Leone, and it's a mask that's worn by the elders of the Women's Coming of Age Society, the Sande Society, and it's called a Sowe mask. All the parts of it have symbolic meaning. It's supposed to represent the ideals of feminine beauty and power. And she has an elaborate hairdo because she has good friends who will braid her hair for her. And she has a high, smooth forehead because women are supposed to be rational. And she has a small nose and mouth because a woman is discreet. She's not gossipy or nosy. And the eyes are closed because she's focused on the spirit world. And the neck rings are supposed to symbolize water because she's supposed to be a water spirit that emerges from underneath the water. And the color black, called Ta in Mende, is the color of civilization to the Mende people. Yeah, this is the top part of a dress that would have had a wrapper for a skirt. And this is worn as a blouse up on top, of course. And this was from Liberia. And it would have been dyed by like a batik process of stamping with a wooden stamp with the wax on it onto a light background. And then after the wax dries, then you would dip it into the dark color, and that would reveal the light color, which is resisted by the wax. And the embroidery is done by men on the sewing machine, and it's very elaborate. It's sort of related to the calligraphy they do in Qurans in Africa. And the men that do the embroidery might be the same ones that do the illumination of the Qurans. Here, again, it's a wooden stamp that would be dipped into the wax and then stamped on the cloth after the cloth has been dyed with the kola nut brown color. And then after that, after it's had the wax on it, they dip it into the indigo blue. This kola nut brown, which is made from a kola nut, which is a nut that is also ingested to wake up people, like a coffee or something. And it has a rich brownish color. It can be lighter or darker than this. The women would buy pieces that were big enough to make into an outfit like that top and then a skirt. And the men would make shirts, and they wore them for everyday wear in Sierra Leone. This one was done by a resist technique where they would take little stones or pebbles and gather them around the pebble and then tie a string and then dip it in the dye so that the ties would resist the dye. And I think this one was called cowrie because it resembles cowrie shells that are a kind of shell that was used as money in some cultures in Africa. This is a very valuable cloth from the Ashanti people of Ghana, which is a very important ethnic group there. And they have divine kings and centralized authority and all that. But this cloth would be worn at royal funerals. And it has, again, they use a wooden stamp to stamp the designs, and all of these symbolize proverbs, which are known to the Ashanti people, so that they would be able to read the cloth and know what it was saying. And I don't know them all myself. I know this one is the fern, and that means I am not afraid of you. And they would wear these messages to convey information to people who are... Yes, this is a dance wand for Shango, the god of thunder and lightning, among the Yoruba people of southwest Nigeria. And the Yoruba people are a long urbanized people, and they have divine kingship and centralized authority. And they have a set of gods that are kind of like the Greek gods. There's about a dozen main deities in their pantheon. And Shango is the god of thunder and lightning, and he punishes liars and thieves. He's kind of a hot-tempered god. But this symbolizes a woman devotee offering a chicken and a goat. And she's got from her head the double axe of Shango, which is a thunderbolt, symbolizes a thunderbolt. And she's very composed and calm. And the Yoruba have some values that include coolness, which is calm and composure. Itutu is the word in Yoruba language. And it means, to have grace under pressure, or to be able to, be balanced and composed. This is a twin figure from the Yoruba people, again, of Nigeria and southwest Nigeria. They're considered to be the sons of Shango, or the children of Shango. And they wear red and white beads because those are Shango's colors. And they have the physical proportion of a child with the sexual attributes of an adult. There's a high twinning rate among the Yoruba people, a very high twinning rate. And so if a twin dies, or both twins die because they're born small and can't survive, the mother might have a pair of twin figures carved to house their souls. And then she would dance with them in the market, and people would give money to the mother. And they're very temperamental. They're considered to be sort of difficult children and cause their mother a lot of trouble. And so she prepares little feasts for them once a month and dances with them in the market and people give money to the mother. Those who are interested, I hope that they can benefit from something of what I've learned. When they go to museums, they can look at other collections and see similar things or other new things and try to learn more.